This is your takeover. We film every Monday night and then air it super duper early on Tuesday morning. It might be afternoon for you. It might be morning for me. I have no idea. It just means I'm not going to sleep tonight. That's all it really means. Viewer Takeover. I'm Brian Paul. That's Desiree the Strange.
Hello.
And we're here to answer your questions.
Yes.
As always, make sure you send your Viewer Takeover questions to our comment section down below. Hashtag Viewer Takeover in the comments if you want us to talk about your question or comment. But also just click that little link in the description. That's our Discord server. You can go join us over there and leave your question or comment in the hashtag Viewer Takeover channel.
I gotta say the Ask Des channel has been kind of empty lately. So
I gotta say, everyone's playing No Man's Sky.
This is true.
The entire Discord server is just dead half the time. It used to be popping all the time.
Yep.
And now everyone's like, I'll see you later. I gotta play No Man's Sky.
Yeah, no, I fired up my PlayStation to play the game we talked about this week, and we're literally like, oh, yeah, literally everyone's playing No Man's Sky.
Every single person. My entire friends list is just No Man's Sky, which is great. We're glad you're enjoying it. There'll be a review one of these days.
Why bother? They're already playing it.
Yeah, I know. But, maybe future Game Cats would like to know.
That's what I never get. Like, I don't want a review of the popular game because everyone's playing that. Give me the review of the game that no one's talking about.
Yeah, right. I reviewed Waltz of the Wizard yesterday.
Yes, exactly.
You're welcome.
Both of you.
Yeah, seriously. No, it's just I told AJ actually. I was like, you know what? I know everybody wants a No Man's Sky review.
Yeah.
But to clear my head and like to actually just kind of like write stuff without having to think too hard, I'm gonna do a Focus on You review. I'm gonna do a Waltz of the Wizard review. I'm gonna do just a bunch of small games that I can sort of wrap my head around a little easier. The No Man's Sky review is coming, but holy crap, man! I've done like 3 revisions on that, and I'm still not happy with it.
Yeah, it's just, but that's the weird thing. Like that'll get tons of views too, though.
Oh yeah, it'll get like 100,000 views like in a month.
Yep.
And I'm like, I'm not ready for 100,000 people to hear my thoughts on that game because I don't have them complete yet. Thank you so much, Kevin Scheimer.
Scheimer, yes,
Dude,
that's amazing.
What I feel like that should just be the Viewer Takeover intro,
right?
Yeah.
Especially the cat sweater at the end. That made me so happy. I kind of forgot that existed.
Yeah, it actually lit up and stuff. You had that for Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the funny thing is like literally the day after we filmed that, I was watching GameScoop because it's one of the very few actual things I watch on IGN anymore.
Yeah.
GameScoop, and Damon Hatfield had the exact same sweater on.
He goes to Target.
Perfect. That's awesome. So thank you very much, Kevin Scheimer, aka Talkin' Nerdy. That's his
Talkin' Nerdy.
I think his YouTube screen name. Could be wrong. Awesome Viewer Takeover introduction. If you want to introduce next week's show, make sure you send your short, sweet, seductive. Again, really, it's a Gmail account, so keep it low resolution and short.
And seductive.
Oh yeah, no, Mrs. Darwin Eyeball nailed that last week. Without Parole at gmail.com. I don't think there's any in the queue. I could be wrong.
Wait, what did I miss? I wasn't here last week.
I know we did a Viewer Takeover without you.
I missed a seductive.
Listen, if you don't show up with this, the channel has to keep rolling.
Why are you doing the good intros when I'm not here?
I don't know. It's available to watch online.
Yeah, I've heard.
You're not going to watch it.
Actually, no.
No.
I'm doing a burlesque show this weekend. I'm all set.
But we also want to thank a few other people, not just Kevin Scheimer.
No.
We also want to thank these people.
Yay.
These people down here, the people who went to patreon.com/withoutparole.
Games.
The ones giving us $1 or more every single month. Basically, not only does it get your name down here on this illustrious list of Game Cats, but also we give you an episode of the Litter Box.
Yes.
And holy crap, you don't want to miss this week's Litter Box.
You missed a doozy.
I spoilers, I cried.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, for $1 a month. And you know what? Here's the thing. I remember Tim Geddes on Kind of Funny said this. He's basically, here's your Patreon hack.
Yeah.
Go give us $1 on Patreon. Before the month runs out, cancel your Patreon support.
Okay.
Right? You never have to pay, but you get to watch all the content. Okay? And I know that sounds like, why would you be endorsing something like that?
Yeah.
Because I want you to see what you're missing out on. Right? Even if you go sign up, cancel your, fine, just do it. I want you to see what you're missing out on.
It's probably the same as a gift card float thing too, because there'll be a certain percentage of people who are like, oh, that's a good idea. They'll do that and they'll forget to cancel and just.
That's sort of what I'm hoping, actually.
Yeah.
We're gonna get your $1.
$12 goddamn dollars a year.
Yeah. To support the channel of choice.
Yeah.
Right? I hope this is your channel of choice. If it's not, well, then maybe you shouldn't be giving us money.
That's true.
So thank you to all the loyal Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every single one of you. And then, of course, there's another group of people we want to thank.
Yes.
These are the people who follow Beauty and the Decays lead.
Yes, and they've actually changed their name to something the Game Cat.
Which is crazy.
It's fantastic.
Awesome.
Yep.
We had so many last week.
We did.
We filled the screen. It was like 8 of them or something.
That's great.
Oh, crazy.
So it's a way you can show your support. Hey, All right, maybe you're not financially in a position to do that. That's totally cool. We understand. God knows I've been there.
I'm still there.
Right. So this is a way you can show your support without costing you a dime. And like everywhere you visit on YouTube and leave a comment, you'll be spreading the GameCat love. It's fantastic.
And it's nothing better than GameCat love.
Not at all.
GameCat love.
So this week we have, and this makes me so happy. See, what I lacked in quantity last week, I make up in quality this week.
Yeah.
Blue Morpho 28, the GameCat.
Okay.
I'm really, really hoping this is a fellow Venture Brothers fan and not just a random coincidence.
I'm so happy you just explained where this came from.
Yes. Well, that's what I'm thinking, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We have DJ Dagsy, the GameCat.
DJ Dagsy's been around forever. DJ Dagsy's a little Patreon supporter. He's been around, like, literally, I've seen his name in the comments years now.
Yes.
And then when he just did the hashtag GameCat recently, I was like,
doesn't it feel better?
I mean, it feels
You
good
feel
to
good,
me.
don't you?
It's good to me. So thank you guys very much. We really, really appreciate your support. If you change your name to GameCat, make sure you tell us. Man, this coffee's like really doing something, a little heartburn. Put in the comments, hashtag GameCat, and that way we can find you easily and give you a shout out on next week's show.
Yes.
All right, but I think it's time to get to the core of the show here.
Well, yeah.
Talk about the hashtag viewer takeover questions. I gotta say, a little bit lacking in the comment section. I looked for hashtag viewer takeover in the comments, and there was like one that I didn't think we had a good answer for.
Okay.
And so all of these this week come from the Discord server. So again, make sure you click that link in the description, join the Discord server, and join the previously awesome discussion that was happening before No Man's Sky came out.
Yes.
All right. So first up comes from Reverse Flash on Discord. He says, hashtag viewer takeover.
Like a pro?
Like a pro. When VR movies eventually become mainstream, will they have a separate disc, most likely Blu-ray format, or possibly revive 3D Blu-rays?
Got a lot of presumptions in this statement here.
Yeah.
Number one, assuming that VR movies will become mainstream.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's the case.
You know, I think that's sort of what I was focusing on when I copied and pasted this into our discussion.
I mean, granted, like the VR movies and shorts I've seen, many of them have been very cool. I've raved on and on again about how The Invisible Hours is going to change narrative storytelling as we know it. But as you and I know, VR pickup has not really been as big as we'd hoped.
Yeah.
And that's not just PSVR, just VR in general.
In general, right? I think 3D Blu-rays are the best. I really enjoy watching 3D Blu-rays with my PSVR headset.
Yeah,
because I've never had a 3D TV. I don't want to. It's going to sound really ridiculous to say this, but hear me out.
Okay.
I don't want to put on a pair
No,
of
I will
glasses.
not hear that.
I do not want to put on a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
To watch a 3D movie on my TV.
Wait, no, but it's a very different experience.
But I do want to put on a VR headset.
Because it looks better.
It looks better, and I can tilt my head. Like, I can actually do this, right? Because if you can't, like, lay down on a couch and watch a Blu-ray, a 3D Blu-ray, because that screws everything up.
Yeah, but it depends what version of 3D you're using, because you're going to get those comments. There are other active shutters. And it just,
oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, it's been a long... Okay, so in all fairness,
it's
been a very long time since I've watched a 3D movie with just 3D glasses on a TV.
Well, there's the 3D glasses with like the oh my gosh, the polarized lenses, which is the ones you're talking about.
Yeah.
When you tilt and the screen gets all weird. But there are, well, I don't know if there's anything on the market right now. There was like active shutters which actually physically flicker the lenses. Synchronized with the so like this eye would broadcast and this eye would broadcast, so and then this lens would close and this one would close.
Good to know.
Yeah, crazy fast, like 120 hertz, insane. Anyways,
the problem is, I just don't really see it
physical media existing for more than the next 5 years.
That's also true.
Yeah,
but I don't really see a good way when I watch a movie in general.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, like I say, I like watching 3D Blu-rays with my PSVR headset, but it's still, to me, for somebody who spends most of his time in a VR headset, watching 3D movies is still very much a novelty to me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is cool. Look how good the 3D effect is. For the most part, I'm going to either be sitting on my couch with somebody else watching a movie, or like snuggling up in bed, right? And like watching it from there.
Difficult to snuggle with the headsets on.
Yeah. That's going to change everything. Yeah. So for me, it's just not something that I'm like terribly concerned about. Like whatever the future of the medium is, it's going to take a while to get there.
Yeah, and I think like the VR movies becoming mainstream. Like we talk all the time about, oh, when are the big developers going to start taking VR seriously? Think of how much money and risk is in making a movie. Like even the cheapest, dumbest, worst, like low budget horror film you've ever seen has got a budget of like $1 million
these days. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So, and then taking the risk of putting like Hollywood level production into an incredibly complicated, messy, and difficult VR production.
Yeah.
Like as tough as VR gaming is, VR filmmaking is an entirely different challenge.
Yeah, most of the things I've watched in VR 180 have been very static camera locations.
Yep.
And there's not a whole lot of camera movement because they know full well, hey, some people are going to get motion sick from this. Right. And so it's too tough right now. And I think even with VR 180 and 360 videos, we talked a little bit about Afterlife, or I reviewed Afterlife, I guess, whereas like they tried to add some depth to a 360 video, and all it did was make me sick. I was like, there are some challenges that they have not figured out. Even with VR 180, that the quality is much better. There's still some pulling and tugging when you turn your head a little bit. Yeah, and it's like this is not yet replaced, the comfort of traditional media. And
not only that, the other challenge is it is very hard to tell a story when you don't know where your audience is looking.
That's true.
So yeah, all those things. I mean, I hope we're wrong. I hope some genius cracks VR filmmaking and all of a sudden it becomes the hugest, biggest new thing. Yeah. That would be awesome. But yeah, I think that's a long way in our future.
Yeah. So the answer to your question is no, it'll be on the same disc.
Nah, it's not going to be on a disc at all. Physical media is dead.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that's actually just before we move on from the topic. I will say, I back in the day I was a CD collector, and I all my music I proudly displayed on the wall. Yeah. And then once I switched over to paying $4 a month to be able to listen to everything that I want to on my Amazon Echo Show. Yeah. All my CDs went immediately out the door. Yep. Like I don't need this in my life anymore. The moment that I switched over to Netflix, Hulu, Amazon, I mean, I haven't touched. I have a very small section of Blu-rays in my collection now. Used to have a large selection of DVDs, a larger selection of VHS tapes. I don't care about owning these things anymore. Yep. I really just I want to stream everything.
I've got like 3 huge totes of VHS tapes, DVDs. It's just wasted space now.
And even all the stuff in the background here. Right. I haven't actually bought a physical game in months now. Like I'm
good for you.
Oh, I'm over it. I'm even Vita. Vita was the last vestige of my collecting, and I'm so over it. Like I don't have room. I'm trying to clean out a little bit. Yep. Man, it's just awesome. I don't know. It's 2019, man. It's time to change.
And not only that, physical media cannot keep up to the 4K and 6K.
Next generation is like literally a year away.
Yep.
Yeah, very excited.
All right, so moving on.
You're up, Asia.
We have Macarn Artist from the Discord channel. #viewer takeover, like a pro. What's your guys' thoughts on a subscription-based VR gaming service? Why doesn't Sony do a VR monthly subscription similar to Xbox GamePass or EA Access?
Do I have to give the obvious answer?
Please do.
Because they don't need to.
Yeah,
they are so far in the lead that like Xbox they're talking about around 100 million PlayStation 4s. Microsoft refuses to reveal how many Xbox Ones they've sold for good reason, because it's probably what they're speculating is close to 40 million.
Well, and it's not only that, like we've talked many times before about the attach rate on PSVR is insane. We don't need to do a rental service because we're already buying every stupid thing they sell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Every single person that buys a PlayStation VR headset goes through the exact same process for at least the first year or two. Yeah. And they're like, oh, look at this thing that I bought. Let me check it out. Oh my God, this is amazing. Let me see what else I can buy. Oh my God, what else can I buy? What else can I buy? What else can I buy? It's addictive because you want to see everything in VR. It's like this brand new, it's an emotional response, I think. You're just like, I want to see and feel everything this thing is capable of. And so, everyone's bought a ton of crap.
Yeah, and then they like the sales on VR, I don't know like how it compares to like the proportion of titles that go on sale on the regular PSVR store, but the regular PlayStation store. But my gut is telling me a much larger percentage of the PSVR games are on sale than the okay. So
yeah, it seems to be that way. In fact, like coming up on October 13th, which is like a month away, there will be the 3-year anniversary sale, or we're all expecting there will be. And the anniversary sale is always the biggest PlayStation VR sale of the year, and we always see screenshots. People take screenshots of their cart.
Yeah.
Right, on the PlayStation Network. And it's always got like 13, 15, 17 games in it, with like hundreds of dollars of games for like $100.
Yeah.
Right? 40% off, 50% off, 60% off. And so so if you didn't buy all this stuff already, you're certainly going to buy it then if you even like remotely want it.
Right. So I don't think they're really not incentivized to give us some kind of monthly, all access pass like that. Because they're just the audience isn't big enough. The audience that is there is buying a much larger proportion of the games than their regular audiences anyways. And honestly, the PSVR audience isn't as price conscious as the regular. I mean, yes, like believe me, I am still Mr. Budget Gamer and I'm buying those cheap games, but let's face facts. If you had the money to buy a PlayStation and a PSVR, yeah, maybe you're not budget surfing as much.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
you're definitely more interested in,
at least from a marketing in a business point of view. Like they're looking at their customer base, and yeah.
I wonder what this little compression knob has been doing for you all night.
I don't know.
Interesting. We'll find out. All right. So it's I don't know. It's it feels weird to say because it always looks like Microsoft is doing the right thing from a consumer standpoint. They're like adding backward compatibility. They're doing the monthly GamePass. They're doing all the right things because they have to. They're in a situation where they need to catch up, where they need to look good from a media standpoint.
Well, they're being pushed to innovate, which is
great. That's why competition always is good for the consumer. But until PlayStation finds themselves at the back of the pack again, like they found themselves at the beginning of the PS3 era, they're not gonna feel the need to do any of this stuff. So we'll see what happens. It almost makes me want the PS5 to not be very successful out of the gate, so they have to go, let's scramble and let's make things happen, then catch back up.
What if Microsoft just absolutely blindsides everybody and comes out with a dirt cheap, wireless, crazy powerful VR headset?
I mean, they've got a great history. I mean, the 360 destroyed, and no one thought it was going to. After the relatively unsuccessful original Xbox, I mean, 360 came out of nowhere and just blindsided everybody. So it's totally possible. Microsoft has lots of people making VR headsets for them. Yeah. And so, I mean, they could just grab the best one and say, okay, we're going to sell this at a huge loss and just take over Sony's lead.
We're going to give it away free with the Xbox. Actually, I don't know what it would be.
I mean, they're calling it Scarlet, right?
Scarlet.
Is that what's it? I mean, that's the code name at least.
Yeah.
Project Scarlet. Is it even called Scarlet? I watched their press conference. I just don't pay attention anymore. I just said, "What, Psychonauts? Come on, Double Fine. What'd you do?" Next up, Marcusor, the game cat from Discord says, #viewer takeover. Hey guys, Mark here. Hey Mark. Hope all is well. Watch the litter box. Meow. He says he actually said meow. Meow. Happened to notice a scratch on my lens from the wife's glasses. Wife. Divorce. Yep, we can stop right there. Yeah. Right? How dare you make her buy you another one? Or you're taking the kids. Never thought it would happen. Now I'm looking into lens protectors to avoid any further issues. Any suggestions or testimonials on good products to pick up for lens care?
Okay.
This is tough, man. This is really tough because until you've had a scratch on your PSVR lens, it's not something you care about. It's not something you even pay attention to. But we've looked into it a little bit.
Yeah, so I do have a scratch on one of my lenses, but luckily enough, it's not really in a place that matters much. Like you can't, you notice it when you take it off, but when you're wearing them, it doesn't impact the view. So I've kind of lucked out there.
That's why I'm curious. I'm actually curious to know how big of a scratch this is. If like when that's so close to your face, I want to know if Mark can see it while he's playing a game.
Yeah, I don't know. And mine, I mean, it's probably, I don't know, maybe a quarter or about a half an inch, and it kind of comes from the outside. It's weird. It goes across the center of the lens, so you would think it would be a big issue, but it's really not. Like you can't, like you see it until you put it on, and then it's completely fine. Yeah. It doesn't impact the view at all.
Interesting.
But being that you're complaining about it, it sounds like it must be affecting your I don't mean to complaining. I'm saying
No,
you're bringing it up.
He's concerned about it.
Yeah, you're concerned about it.
Yeah. I think the first thing is you got to first check to see how long you've had your PSVR headset.
Yes.
I think Sony basically does, as long as it's still under warranty, they'll fix anything for $100.
Yeah.
I think it's something along those lines.
Yeah. So and that's actually was my experience too. My pads came off. They came off again. I'm just taping them now. Skip it.
Well, you have my original headset. You have my
Yes.
launch headset.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And I think this is actually part of the problem.
yeah,
Because it gets stuck to my head and I pull it off, and so it's not the pads come off; it's the liner on the pads pulls off. So I just got some fabric tape and taped it down now.
it's so comfortable, and but hopefully they find something that's equally as comfortable for PSVR too, but it doesn't flake off so much.
Yeah. But anyways, back to Mark's question.
Oh, Mark. Hey, Mark.
So there are two issues. Of course, there is an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Yeah.
So there are lens covers. Did you look up any of those?
So yeah, I mean, I looked them up. I'll throw some links in the description of the video. I haven't personally tried any of these, and so I hate to recommend any of them based on other people's testimonials.
Right.
And so that's what I was kind of saying when we introduced this question, was like, well, I don't have any firsthand experience on this, so we can only trust other people who have dealt with it. It sounds like you don't want to try to repair the scratch.
Yeah. So that was the part that I looked up a little bit, and back in the CD days, there were all sorts of neat tricks about if you had a scratch on your CD, you could take toothpaste.
Yeah.
And buff it out with toothpaste, and that actually worked for minor scratches. There was actually one site I saw that recommended doing that. Do not do that.
No, the PlayStation VR lenses have a protective coating on it, and so if you start doing something like that, then you could be in big trouble.
Yeah. Another product that's recommended on a bunch of sites is Meguiar's Scratch X, which is a very cool microabrasive paste that's awesome for getting scratches out of sealant and minor scratches in your cars. And it looks great. You put it on there, you rub it, scratch goes away, everything's still nice and shiny. It's awesome. But the way these work, it is a microabrasive, which means so you have your scratch with nice sharp edges, and the microabrasive basically just wears away at the sharp edges, so everything's nice and smooth. And on a molecular level, smooth means shiny. So it's great. But what you're doing when, like Brian said, there is a protective coating on the lenses. So what you're really doing is you're buffing away that protective lens, that protective coating, which is there for a reason.
Right. So,
hey, I can't tell you how to live your life, but I would strongly recommend against doing it unless the scratch is just so bad that you can't see anymore and you need to do something, and for whatever reason you're out of warranty, or you don't want to pay $100.
Yeah, kind of a last ditch effort, it sounds like.
Yeah. There was a cool 3D printing project I saw that actually made like an eyeglass
bumper.
Bumper.
Yeah. Saw that too. They're selling them on Etsy. I saw.
Yeah. But even at that's going to mess with like how far away the lenses are from your face anyways. So
yeah.
The short answer is there is no answer.
Yeah, I think your best bet is probably there are like little lens protectors you can just sort of kind of, I want to say tape on.
Yeah.
They sort of just stick on to the lenses.
Right.
They come off pretty easily. They're fairly similar to the things that were on your PSVR headset when you bought it.
Or things that like go on your cell phone screen. Like
exactly. Kind of, protective covering.
Mildly adhesive. But again, not, Sony isn't approving of these. These are not Sony products, so take your own risks.
Yeah, I honestly, I mean, I know it's a little disingenuous to say this, but I've had a PSVR headset since launch. You now have that headset.
Yep.
But I guess that was how many, 2 years ago? How long ago did I give that to you? 2.5 years ago?
Yeah.
So, I mean, so I've had mine for 2.5 years, and I don't wear glasses. So keep that in mind.
Right.
But I mean, like, all I use is a microfiber cloth to keep it clean, and man, the thing's probably dirty as hell.
Yeah.
And I have no issues at all. I have worn blue blocker glasses while playing. I'm pretty sure those are plastic.
Yeah.
So again, less likely that they're going to cause a scratch. So I don't know. Maybe I'm not the right guy to ask.
I'm pretty sure my scratch didn't come from my glasses.
Oh.
I don't know exactly what it came from, but it wasn't like I put them on and took them off and there was a scratch there, or because they do. I mean, my glasses do sit there, but they don't rub against the glasses. Right. So I think something actually
casualty of having children.
Yeah, I don't want to point fingers, but
Both of you. And then last up,
we have Stay Warm 420, the Game Cat, on Discord. At Brian Paul, do you have any thoughts about doing more developer interviews? I know they're not your most popular videos, actually. And sure, they take a bit of time to get the final product, but I really enjoyed them and think they set the channel apart from any other creator I watch or came across. Oh,
thanks. Yeah, so so as you guys know, I had some crazy health problems. It took me forever to kind of get to the root of it all. Still, I swear, I'm so close. I'm so close. I gotta say, I had the best couple of days of my life a couple weeks ago. And it was because of that I was like, I think I discovered the problem. So now it's going to take care of a couple things and to have the best rest of my life.
Nice.
Very, very close to
That's
figuring all this out. And so it was because of that, like this health problem that I've been having has been making me very tired and keeping me from spending as much time as I want to on the channel. I know you might look at the channel and go, there's a lot of stuff on there. Yeah. But man, it's like I was getting into a routine of having, at least one video a day, and it was very frequently 2 videos a day, 10 to 12 videos a week. Mm-hmm. And every Saturday was developer interview day, you know, and it was usually Thursday, Friday, something along those lines. I'd film the interview and then it would go up very quickly after. It would require a ton of editing. It requires setting up time with the developers to like do the interview. And it was really a time. It was a time suck. I mean, there was no better way to say it. It just took so much time to schedule.
And then also hit just as like your health problems were almost at their worst.
Yeah.
It was just like, because I remember being on this side, like, Brian, you should not be doing these.
Should be
this
adding
is a bad
another show
idea.
to your
Stop
schedule.
doing this, and then just wham.
Yeah. And so I did. I think I did like 10, or 8 or something. I forget how many it was. But I really started getting into the groove and really enjoying it, and just being able to hang out. And my favorite thing about the developer interviews wasn't me asking like the tough questions. I like to ask a few tough questions just to make it seem like I'm a games journalist, quote unquote. But what I love doing is just being able to sit back and say, hey, the floor is yours.
Right.
Tell us the story of your game.
Yeah.
And so being able to do that, I think allowed a lot of developers to tell stories that they didn't previously get to tell. And I want to bring those back. I've already reached out this week to 4 developers.
Okay.
Saying, hey, I'm bringing the series back. Would you be interested in telling your story? And I got to say, we've got a few good ones lined up. So I would say this is the first week in September. I would say by the second or third week in September.
Oh, wow, that fast.
Oh, yeah. Oh, dude, once I decide to do something.
Dude, stay warm.
It's on.
We got you.
It's on. So I've got a few good ones lined up. Hopefully we can get them all kind of scheduled. I would like to do this in seasons, because I do think it is a ton of work.
That's a good idea.
So I think there was 10 last season, quote unquote, and then I think we'll do another 10, and then I'll give myself another month break, and then another 10, nice. Give myself a month break, and so there'll be like segments of developer interviews. And I think the great thing about developer interviews is that you get to check back in with them every so often. Right. It's like you don't just do one and then you're done. You get to say, hey, Reggie Strange, what are you up to? We haven't seen you since early this year or something. So as soon as Reggie has more to talk about, we'll be seeing more of him.
When most podcasts do seasons, they take like 4 or 5 months off between seasons.
I'm crazy.
Okay.
Right.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. I think it's going to do it for another episode of Viewer Takeover. Make sure you submit your Viewer Takeover question in the comments below by doing #Viewer Takeover, or joining our Discord by clicking that link in the description and going to the Viewer Takeover channel and leaving your question there, or do what Stay Warm 420, the Game Cat, did, and go to the Ask Brian section. I think I just ripped that straight out of Ask Brian. Also, make sure you support us on Patreon, patreon.com/withoutparole
games,
and give us $1 or more every single month. Remember, I gave you that little life hack. You can do it for free. Don't you want to watch me cry? Yes, you do. Oh, yes, you do.
Oh, you do want to do that.
Yes, yes, you do. Also, make sure you change your name to GameCat and let us know that you changed your name to GameCat by putting #GameCat in the description. No, in the comments. That's what I meant to say. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm saying. It's really late. It's time for bed.
Yeah.
It might be time for pizza.
Oh, lucky you.
Have a good night, everybody. We love you all. Ready?
Oh, yeah.
All right. This is Viewer Takeover, where we film every
time we get to it.